Hey everybody, thanks for joining me here today. This is Nicole with Topaz, and today's Quick Tip Thursday session is about turning your photos into creative cartoons. With Topaz Clean and Topaz Simplify combined, you can easily create very authentic looking cartoons quite quickly. So that's what we're going to be going over today. Let me show you the before and after. Here's before. This is after I took the image into clarity and lens effects, so I was just playing around with a certain image that I'd worked on before. But I really liked the coloring effects that were going on here, so I decided to stick with this image. This is my before image, and after going into Simplify and Clean. So let's go ahead and take this before image in, and I will copy that and just call this Clean. Topaz Clean is going to be your first step. Clean is a texture program if you're unfamiliar with it, and it's an awesome way just to not only clean skin and kind of smooth out textures and get rid of blemishes and wrinkles and things like that, but it quickly can flatten your image and produce a realistic cartoon result in just one click. So let me just hop into Topaz Clean. I'm going to press Reset All because this is what it'll look like when you come in, and then go to the Cartoon Collection. The Cartoon Collection has several different presets, some that have some texture still applied, some that have a lot of lines and interesting effects in them. So you can definitely play around to see what you are interested in, but for this particular effect that we're going after today, I wanted something flat. And so as I scrolled over, I saw that I had flat and soft or a flat style. And flat and soft gave me a little bit softer edges and a little bit more smooth transitions in my tones, which I did not want. So I just chose flat style preset. And I was happy with this. What I really look for when I'm trying to create these cartoons in this first step is just making sure that the transition of color becomes smooth, but I still have strong edges for my main subject, like we see here for the flower. I still have lovely strong lines going on in the internal area of the flower as well. And that's really going to be pushed further in Simplified, not Clean. So as long as I have nice looking edges and this flat style preset really keeps those edges while still giving me beautiful soft transitions of tone, I'm good. I'm going to press OK. And that's just a one preset click, starting with flat style. And now we're going to go into Topaz Simplify. Simplify alone can turn your image into a cartoon as well. But combined, you're able to first take out all this texture and smooth out this tone and still keep that original tonal transitions just in a much cleaner way. Then I can take this into Simplify, and I don't have to deal with all of the reduction of detail and lines that we don't care about in our cartoon process. So let's go ahead and take a new layer. I'm just going to press Control-J. It's going to be Command-J on a Mac, and I'll take that layer and rename it Simplify. And now we'll go Filter, Topaz Labs, Topaz Simplify. I'm going to press Reset All over here on the right-hand side, lower right. And for this particular workflow, we're going to work over here on the right-hand side instead of through a preset, because I really want to show you how you can not only work with your color and texture within Simplify, but also create those lines that will make it look like a realistic kind of cartoon creation. That's what we're after here today. So I'm going to open up the Global Adjustments panel here on the right-hand side, and we'll first go into Adjust. Simplify, the main technology within Simplify, I'm not even going to use. You can go in it and use it if you have some leftover detail that you're not wanting. Let's say you don't like all of these little extra petals that are falling, not petals, forgetting the word for those guys, but you don't want these extra little dots coming out from the inside of the flower. You could come in and easily just take that Simplify size slider up, and you're going to start seeing some of those disappear. So you can simplify the subject even further with this Simplify size slider, but if you're pretty happy, maybe I'll go a little up just to get rid of some of those sharpening effects that happen within the clean edges. All right, so we did use the Simplify size slider just a touch. Not much though. Now I'm going to get out of that and go into adjust. Adjust is really where a lot of the color and texture final touches happen for me when it comes to these creations, these cartoon creations. I'm going to turn that on and I'm going to take my brightness up just to get it a little bit more contrasty, brighter, more saturated. I'm going to take that saturation up. I find that the one thing that I use more than the saturation is the saturation boost. The saturation boost is going to allow for those desaturated colors or the less saturated colors to pull those out, add saturation to those, while still maintaining the saturation levels of the already saturated colors. So it basically just evens out your saturation and takes it to the same level as your saturated colors already are. Dynamics I will leave alone, and here we get down to structure and structure boost. I use these all the time when I'm creating cartoons because I find that I want to usually flatten out the texture just a little bit more and remove some extra detail that Clean might not have done. In addition, sometimes Clean will have some polarization effects going on within the tonal transitions. So taking that structure boost specifically to the left is just going to soften everything up, make those transitions even softer of tone. I'm taking it back up so you can kind of see the difference. And it's just going to flatten everything out even more. So I really like what that saturation or that structure boost does when you take it to the left. Happy there, and now I'm ready. Actually, I'm not ready. I want to take my brightness levels up just a touch more. Yeah, there we go. Happier there. Now I'm ready to go into my edges. But before I do that, I like to process my edges separately, even though you can do it all at once. Once I get my color and my texture to a point where I'm happy, I like to save that either within Simplify by pressing apply or actually pressing OK and saving as a layer back in Photoshop. I'm going to come down to the lower right and press apply, and now all the changes that I've made are now in my original file. So it's kind of like smashing all the layers that we just did, all the adjustments into one, and now this is my original image that I'm now going to add my lines to. So I'm going to press reset all. And you'll see those changes are still applied to our image. So now I'm happy. I'm going to come over here to my upper right and press the Edges tab just to show you that edges aren't automatically applied to the image, and you can actually process just edges in Simplify. Today, I want to only work within my Edges tab, but I do still want to see the color and tone. So I'm going to go back into my Combine tab, go down into my edges, take my edge strength all the way up, simplify edge all the way down, reduce weak all the way down, reduce small all the way down, and fatten edge up just a touch. And what I've just done by doing all of that is add in as many lines as possible into my image. So I've taken that strength of my edges and pushed that all the way up. I've taken that simplify edge slider, which starts out at about 0.2 naturally or 0.1 by default. You can take that down and actually add edges back in. Same thing with the reduce weak and reduce small. So I've just gotten the most edges possible. I don't want color edges, so I'm going to come into my edge type and go to mono edges, which will make it black. So I like the mono edge normal, and now I'm starting to see some cartoon action here. I'm really starting to like. I see a ton of lines going on that I'm not too happy with here. Especially in my weaker areas. So the first thing I'm going to do is come over to my edges and say reduce weak. I want to take that up, and what that's going to do is start reducing those weak edges, those really soft edges that don't really get to black and don't really need a line for a cartoon feel. So that looks pretty good. I'm really liking what I'm seeing so far, but now I have all this kind of blocking up of my lines within my flowers that I want to get rid of. So I'm going to try my Simplify Edge, which is just going to start simplifying by size and weakness. Start taking that up. The Simplify Edge sliders works very similarly to the Simplify Size slider within the Simplify tab, in that it will intelligently remove edges based on size and weakness. But it's not getting exactly where I want it to go, so now I'm going to come down to the reduce small and start doing that myself. There we go. I'm going to take that fatten edge down just a touch. All right, so I'm fairly happy here. Once you get to a point where you are happy, you can just press OK and get back in, or you can press apply and continue working. For this, I'm happy with the edges around my flowers. They're really strong and black and pretty, and the interior of my flowers are really being highlighted, and I really like that, so I'm going to press OK, get back into Simplify, and here we have our cartoon. Let me show you before. So this is the before image that we took into Topaz Clean first to clean up all of that texture, but still get the original transitional tones in there. And then we went into Topaz Simplify to work on our tone, additional texture work, and add those edges in to get a creative cartoon. I hope this gives you some insight in how you can quickly create your own cartoons, really controlling both the lines and the color and edges and texture, etc., of all of your image elements, and turn your photo into a cartoon as well. I hope you have a great weekend and a great morning, afternoon, or evening wherever you are. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.